That's nice.
What's up guys, it's Rev J. I'm out in the driveway with the Rebuild Everything Yukon, and because we had a beautiful day, it was about time I fixed a problem that had been plaguing this truck pretty much since I got it. So a lot of you guys that have these 99 to 06 trucks, the Silverados, the Suburbans, the Yukons, anything on that platform, it's possible you ran into this issue, and it's pretty commonly reported. That is, issues specific to the traction control light on the dash, stability system indicators, and sort of the ABS freaking out. Now, the most common thing that's reported is weird noises coming from the ABS module and kind of under the dash, odd pedal feel. Sometimes it feels like it's holding you back and turning the stability system on, even when it's not. Sometimes it will flash the stability system indicator, usually things related to the ABS and the traction control. Now, that issue really breaks into two categories: ABS related and the traction control related. And there is some level of intermingling. Now, if it's ABS related, the worst case scenario is that ABS module itself is going out. That's the big thing under hood with all the wires and hydraulic lines going to it. Now, some guys will answer this problem by just pulling the ABS fuse, and as a matter of fact, you can do that, but of course it'll leave the ABS light on your dash lit at all times, and for me, that's a huge annoyance. Now, the other side is traction control or stability system related. That's where you'll see the TCS light on the dash come on, like you turned the traction control off. You'll see traction active flash up on the little readout, and things sort of that nature. Sometimes the truck will even act like it turned the stability system on when you're just driving on dry pavement, and that is extremely annoying and sometimes borderline dangerous if you're trying to merge or get across an intersection and it cuts power. Now, I've done a little pre-troubleshooting on my scenario, and it seems like most of it is related to the traction control side of things. I'm not replacing the ABS unit on this truck because I've never seen an ABS light flash up, and I don't really have any symptoms causing problems with the ABS aside from the occasional weird noise. It is something I have to keep an eye on because they are prone to failure in this unit, and if that happens, we'll address it. But for now, we're primarily going to focus on the traction control side of things. I'm going to back the truck out of the driveway, and you guys can see what I'm talking about when we get on the road. Alright, so to start, you guys can see there's nothing illuminated on the dash. There's no trouble lights, no MIL indicators, nothing like that. Just my regular readout at the bottom and a completely clear dash. And I probably should mention, I do have a TCS disable button over here. The Yukon's got them, some of the higher end Tahoes did. However, not every vehicle has a TCS disable button. That'll come into play in a second. This problem is most noticeable when leaving from a stop or going from like 5 to 15. So I'm just gonna take an advantage of a nice clear road here and do a couple low speed accelerations and see if we can get it to trigger, and I'll show you guys what's going on. Okay, right away, did you guys hear that weird low pulsing noise? No indicators tripped or anything, but you heard the immediate sort of low grumbling. That was the first symptom I started experiencing before anything else happened. Now you guys saw it there for just a second when I went over a bump and was going low speed. That traction active indicator popped on, and man, this is a really bumpy road. Not sure if that has anything to do with it, but it did trigger when I was going over the egress here. Yikes. Now to combat this, I could pull the TCS fuse, or I can hit the traction deactivate here, and you'll see my TC light turns on, and it also says stability system disabled. Now I'm gonna do a couple low speed accelerations. Listen for that same noise. So as we drove around there, you guys could get a little bit of what I'm describing. You had that sort of low speed humming, pulsing. Now I couldn't feel that through the pedal, but I did definitely hear it and kind of feel it in the vehicle. And I also had the traction control light pop on once or twice there. I'll have to rewatch the video, but for sure once it popped on, you guys could kind of see what was going on there. Now when I turned that traction control off and we did another series of low speed starts and taking off from a stop, you'll notice we didn't have any of that humming, pulsing, or traction control indicators. Now because turning off the traction control made the noise go away, I'm logically directed towards it being an electrical issue. There's wheel speed sensors, there's components related to the traction control in the tune. What can we look at? Well, the tune didn't change. As a matter of fact, I had Dan, my guy, Midnight TA, check out his channel, come up here and throw a tune in the Yukon just to be sure. We scanned the ECM, we logged the thing with HP tuners, and there was nothing related to modified traction control settings or anything like that in the tune, so we know it's not related to some fluke tuning issue. That means it's something a lot more simple, something like an input sensor or a wheel speed sensor or even a wire. Now that's one of the best parts about GM trucks. There's a huge community out there, and because so many of them were sold, well, if you're having a problem, there's a good chance somebody else ran into it first. And this issue largely seems related to the wheel speed sensors that are located in each of the front hubs. This vehicle has a hub and bearing assembly that's all one piece. It's got the studs in it. As a matter of fact, that is where the wheel speed sensor is located. When you replace the hub, the sensor comes with it. It's just the easiest way to replace the whole thing as an assembly. Like I said, with 140,000 miles on my truck, new set of wheel bearings probably was in order anyway. I wasn't getting a lot of noise coming from these or anything, but it's a known fault area. So these are the bearings themselves. It's a hub unit assembly. Of course, it's from Napa, BR930304. It's an SKF bearing. SKF's got a pretty decent reputation with bearings. I've used them before. Let's pop this guy open and take a look here. Come on, there we go. Check that out. It's a nice shiny looking part. This is our whole bearing assembly. Of course, it's four-wheel drive, so it's splined on the inside there. It's got the wheel studs already in it. And of course, the most important thing for us, this here is the wheel speed ABS sensor guy. That's gonna clip right into our existing harness where the old one is. And hopefully by replacing this, well, and the whole assembly, we're gonna be able to remove that issue. All right, guys, we ran out of daylight yesterday as I was dropping the truck off the jacks, but we got both hubs installed, both sensors reconnected, and wheels are on and all that good stuff. So hopefully this should solve the problem. I'm gonna fire the truck up here. We'll back it out of the driveway, take it for a ride, do a couple short starts and stops from 0 and from 5, and see if we fixed this whole traction active situation we had before. All right, we're out of the driveway with no warnings. Let's do a couple of starts and stops and see if she makes any noises here. So let's do one slightly heavier one just to make sure. Yeah, nothing. A little bit of wheel slip, but that's it. Just to be sure, let's pop the traction control off, make sure it doesn't throw any additional warnings or do anything different than it did before. There's our traction light. Stability disabled, which is good. It's because we told it to. And we'll turn it back off. Make one more here while turning. Little acceleration. Nothing. No whines, no noises, no errors. Well guys, we took it around the block a couple times again. There were no signs of the whining or humming noises, no feel in the brake pedal or anything like that. No stability lights coming up on the dashboard, and no indication of traction system active or anything like that. The vehicle is acting exactly like it should. All four wheels feel great. The brakes feel decent under my feet. In this case, it was just the hub assemblies that needed to be replaced. And by replacing them both, now we have a fresh set of bearings and we have new sensors. So hopefully this problem should stay gone for a long time. Adding that dielectric on the connectors just helps weatherproof it from Wisconsin just a little bit for insurance. So if you guys are having this problem, hopefully this helps you track it down and get it replaced easily. Parts were about $125 per bearing. Let me know if this helped you guys out or if you had other problems or other solutions down in the comments below. Like, comment, and subscribe. Use the hashtag REBUILDEVERYTHING on all your projects so I can check out those posts on social media. Check out my social media. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching.